Now, with me recording a video talking about duping out the characters, because of course Season 5 is going to be a seasonal where, with these two characters in particular, LR+2, I mean, it's something that I would say you kind of want to cater to, especially with me saying Charlotte over Magna. I mean, again, if you've seen the video, you kind of know why. Now, obviously, with Global, the Gateway Reunion is still going to be available, which means one of these characters is going to be obtained in a free-to-play manner. So, looking on it in a free-to-play perspective, who would we want to go about and pick up? Not taking into factor, obviously, the LR+2. Although, I mean, it's kind of stating the obvious. Do your summons, see how things go. You never know, you might walk away with 2 Charlottes, and it's just like, I need that 1 Charlotte. What do? Go over to the Gateway Reunion, pick your Charlotte, and that's an easy LR+2 with minimum spending, you know? So that's obviously one way to look at things to make sure that, you know, Charlotte is the one that you're kind of prioritizing. Again, I don't know how summons are going to go. Maybe it goes pretty well for Charlotte, and that way you can probably cater more into Magna if you want to go down that route. I should mention, and I'll show you guys in just a second, of course, obviously with it being a Charlotte unit, with it being a support, Charlotte, the more you do per out, getting her to +4, she does get a speed up. So again, if that's something you want to cater to, you can make this Charlotte even more cracked out and even more quicker. That will make her a bit of a problem, as well as an amazing support character in terms of having good speed there. So, coming back to the 2 characters, Gateway Reunion, one of them's obtainable for free. If we're just going off from, let's say, not summoning and just kind of picking either or, it's gonna be Charlotte. It's gonna be Charlotte. Now, at that point, I would say, maybe try and get the Greymore. I don't know if they will put the Greymore in the shop for you guys to pick up. I don't know if they'll make that a thing for Global. But then of course that will require for you to spend 10 SSR pieces. So I mean, well, then again, yeah, I mean that's a bit too much, and I don't think most people would want to spend or get rid of that much of their SSR mage pieces. But I'm just saying, when it comes to the Greymoor itself, again, if you do summon and get a little bit lucky, then I guess that works in your favor. Right, we'll finish things off here. I mean, look, both of these characters work extremely well in terms of Magna's damage output, with the stuns, if you have the LR+2, along with the ultimate and the extra turn, which is beautiful. But Charlotte, her support play is just insane with green mono, which Global will soon experience, as well as just supporting any other high attacking character. So yeah, LR+4, she gets a increase on 2 speed, and then of course with her final duping out being LR+5, she then gets the immunity with immunity from taunt and whatnot. So there's that. But either or, we've established that Charlotte is going to be the favorable pick through the Gateway of Reunion, and with that, with a Charlotte without having a LR+2, that second skill is still absolutely phenomenal. With what she can apply, again, you can throw her in a green mono team. You've got to keep in mind that obviously with Fana also releasing, March is going to be an amazing month for green mono being meta, because you're going to have 2 of the best characters releasing, and Charlotte, in my opinion, if we're looking at green typing in particular, is probably the top right now when it comes to green. I mean, outside of just, you know, Fana being the top for the attacking side of things, but I think in general, with the usage of Charlotte, she's up there of being the #1 green unit, I would say, in terms of where she can be used. So even though you won't have the LR+2 play, which supports any typing, I would say, because it's just really just supporting any attacking unit, even just with her being let's say a free unit where you've got no dupes on her, again, at that point she's still decent. If you can get a Greymoor without having any dupes on her, fantastic, because then you've pretty much got that second skill on full lockdown on what it's providing. Because as I've mentioned before, you know, you've got all the immunity given to you, you've got that SP economy there for you. So if you can get Gateway Reunion Charlotte along with her Greymoor, then I think at the bare minimum free-to-play standard, that's kind of where you want it to be if possible, because then at that point, you know, her passive is really bulking you up, giving you that survivability, and then with the barrier play, you can play it off with other characters like Noelle, etc. Radis is a prime example, Of course, if you've got the green mono, then you can play off from her passive, which eventually you will do so, because when Fana comes in, green mono will be pushed even further more on, of course. So an initial copy of Charlotte, in my opinion, is way more effective than the initial copy of Magna, compared to where they would be and how they would play without having them at the LR+2. Charlotte is still way more effective. Now, again, if you don't have the Greymore for Charlotte, of course, I mean, okay, yeah, it's not the end of the world. You can still make her work, of course. I mean, stuns and whatnot will still be applied, but you've got the debuff immunity. And then, of course, in this situation, you can then resort to, I guess, tanking her up, giving her that survivability, because at the end of the day, Charlotte is a character that you want to stick around, and I guess kind of be the focus fire on the enemy, so that way she can tank a lot more, making it so that, you know, it's not, I guess, hindering the other teammates of the ally, so that way they can get in with more attacks and whatnot, of course. So if Charlotte's the main focus and she's tanking, kind of makes your life a lot easier in terms of giving the survivability for your other characters, since everyone's trying to focus on getting rid of Charlotte, because she is going to be, in my opinion, the best support in global, and a problem which a lot of people will be focusing on to get rid of as soon as possible. So in terms of not even having the Greymore and just building up in that tank manner, I mean, you can still make it work. Because, I mean, technically speaking, you've got Mars, you've got, you know, you've got characters around, oh, no, not Mars, you've got Radis, you've got Asta, you've got Black Asta. I always forget if you've decided to max him out, you know, there are other means to get the additional status immunity. And what I'm talking about, just so you guys can understand what I'm talking about, it's this. So with this status, our immunity, you can get that from Radish, you can get that from Black Asta and whatnot. So there are other means to go about it, not having the Greymore, but just having the raw character herself, the initial copy, still I would say I would class it over from Magna himself. Yeah, I mean, look, don't get me wrong, the initial copy for Magna is perfect because his unique passive is not pay to win in terms of needing dupes, because you can realistically feed off from just gaining oh no, wait, what am I talking about? His stun is not on his skills, his stun is on his LR plus 2. So realistically, yeah, Magna is just a full-on a damage dealer, like a DOT burn damage dealer. So, you know, when it comes to Magna himself, honestly, it's a character which you can focus on getting somewhere down the line. It honestly, between the two, getting for free, getting that initial copy, Charlotte is still the better, bigger unit between the two if we're talking about it in a free-to-play manner, and especially in a gateway reunion manner. So yeah, I think that's how I would class it. Now you also got to remember, I'm just going to throw this in here, because I mean, here's the thing, at some point Global has to implement the stuff that's going on over here in terms of having the accessibility for these, all the previous seasonal. So I mean, you can always backtrack and get your Magna up to scratch with stunning and whatnot, you know. But as of right now, with where Season 5 is at, being soon to be released, focus on Charlotte. Gateway Reunion, your goddamn Charlotte. Again, at the end of the day, if summons go well, and let's say you walk away with free Charlotte, then yeah, go for Magna. Why not? Get his ass to LR+2. Bare minimum for the both of them, I would say. So, anyway, yeah, so if you're free to play, Gateway Reunion, get the initial copy with Charlotte. She's still a fantastic unit, even not having the LR+2, even not having the Greymore. You can still make her work as being a very, very solid support character. And yeah, for Green Mono, she'll be absolutely beautiful. So can't go wrong with that either. So yeah, hopefully that clears that up.